Wow, what do you know? It's time for the Pocket Knife Show. Hey, it's Mike on the mic again for another episode of the Pocket Knife Podcast. It's harvest time in Kansas. Wheat is being whacked down and gathered up. When it rains, farmers worry. When it hails, they cry. The fields are ripe. They've got to get the grain in now. Jesus talked about a ripe harvest in Matthew 9:35-38. In these final verses of the chapter, we hear a new command coming from our Master's lips. I'm pretty sure the directive he gave his 12 so many years ago is the same one he issues to followers today. Listen to Jesus' words and know that they're for you. Jesus went through all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom, and healing every disease and sickness. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them, because they were harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field." Before we get to what Jesus says, look at what he does. He is out and about. A lot. He's not sitting in an office. He's wandering here and there, and everywhere he goes, he's telling people the good news, showing his power, healing folks, looking harassed and helpless people in the eyes, peering deeply into their hearts, their minds, their souls. He sees hurt, sin, disappointment, desperation. His heart is filled with compassion. It's from this place of deep concern for the harried folks around him that he speaks of a full and ripe harvest field. There are more people than his followers can imagine in need of God's grace, men and women like Matthew's low-life table companions we were introduced to last time, people who need mercy more than anything. Seeing this, Jesus commands prayer. He instructs his disciples to ask God to compel workers into the harvest fields. Those are the words we read. Do the 12 do as he orders? There is no record of a quickly thrown together prayer meeting. Matthew says nothing of knees hitting the dirt. There are no loud petitions mentioned. But read the first verses of chapter 10. Jesus called his 12 disciples to him and gave them authority to drive out impure spirits and to heal every disease and sickness. These are the names of the 12 apostles, and then he listed them all. And then in verse 5 it says, these 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions. It's obvious these men had prayed as Jesus charged them to. They prayed for workers to be sent out, and they were chosen to go, authorized and deputized by God to spread the good news of God's reign. What do you think? Does Jesus want you and me to pray this prayer? Aren't the harvest fields just as ripe and ready in our day? Aren't the workers still few? Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field. We are being sent to the harassed and helpless people around us. We are being invited to see their pain and suffering and have compassion on them. We are being shown the door. Jesus is compelling us out. When Isaiah was set free from his guilt, he heard God's call. Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And Isaiah said, Here am I, send me. When you ask God to send workers, be ready to be one. When you hear him ask, Whom shall I send? Raise your hand, jump up and down, shout it out, Pick me, pick me! Going into the harvest field matters more than sitting in a pew. May the soles of our shoes be covered in the muck of the messy harvest fields around us. Oh no, it's sad, I know, we've come to the end of the show. See you next time.